Hello, hello.
Hello,
Tanya is
hello.
back.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday shift, y'all. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hype us up. I don't know what it means, but I think it's helpful. So hype us up. Um, Buy us a coffee, buy some merch, for your holiday, going to the new year with some merch. Thank you and shout out to Janice and Jen who always hold us down on the coffee. Y'all have been like rocking with us since day one, and seeing y'all messages is one of the reasons that we hop on here and we're happy to do it every week. So we appreciate y'all. Tanya, how has your holiday been?
Um, so for I don't know if you all know, but I have been out because I've been sick. And it has been the longest time that I've been sick for a while. And I don't think I'm trying to figure out what it was because I've been vaccinated with the flu and COVID-19. I haven't been vaccinated with RSV
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
or I don't know what other else sicknesses are out there. So this is the longest I've ever had a cough. I didn't have a fever. I didn't have any digestive issues. It was just a regular, you know, cold, but the cough lasted forever. But anyway, I've just been
Sorry.
home. Yeah, I've just been home and watching TV and getting over my cold and crocheting. So I think as I said before, when I told my grandma that I finished my blanket, she requested items. So I made her a hat and I'm in the process of making her a infinity scarf. And when that's done, I will show all of you guys and I send it to her. So that's just basically all that I'm doing. But do want to thank Tracy for inviting me to a special
Oh
Zoom
yeah.
event with Dominic Zimbroglia because I got to talk. Well, first, thank you for inviting me. Second, thank you for holding it down and making sure I had a chance to talk because it was an intimate Zoom meeting. There was maybe about 20 so folks in there. All of them knew each other and they were talking. And I'm just like, I'm not the type of person to just worm my way in or just, force my way
I
into
am.
conversation. So Tracy did it and was like, I got a comment, but actually it's for my friend. And then I had to say something. And me and Tracy had gone on to another show where the moderators were like um, happy and excited for me to be able to shoot my shot to Dominic. And I finally was able to do it. I did tell him, I said I had a huge crush on him ever since um, his character started dating Sam. I didn't
Mhm.
really like him. I said I didn't really like him before because I was mad about Michael, but I did say that I appreciated him and I got to
Mhm.
tell him what scene that I thought he should enter into the Emmys race. And for me, I really thought that his scenes with Finn Carr, Rocco, when Rocco told him that he had no right to tell him what to do since he abandoned Lulu and him
Woo.
twice. Because I felt like the way that Dominic, the actor, portrayed that scene was like a gut punch. It was a gut punch, and I felt it. And he didn't even have to say that much, but it was all in his face and his body language. And I just thought it was an excellent scene. And he appreciated that, which was so cool. So
Yeah.
thank you, Tracy, for that.
Yeah,
That
we
made me feel really good.
I mean, and shout out to the people who invited us. Like, we're not part of like I mean, people knew each other. They've been kicking it, and
Uh-huh.
we were invited, and that was beautiful. And we were able to raise a few $1,000s for cancer research, which I think is so
Yes.
major. Going into the holidays, I know that. Listen, y'all, if you're like me, this year has been, ooh, okay. 2025 has been doing its thing in not the best ways, but
Yeah.
just being a part of like people who are so generous and everybody had been touched by cancer, either personally or through their family. So being able to give to something, and Tiny used to work for the organization, so you knew that it would go to a good place. That also
Yeah.
felt really good. So this kind of like soap family, I think, is one of the reasons I hold on to the show. Um, I love talking to people about the show. I was telling Tanya before we hopped on and we started recording that I talk to people on threads a lot. And people will say, well,
Hmm.
thank you for being kind. And I'm just like, listen, back in the day, I'm not gonna say I wasn't wild. You know what I mean? Like at the height of the JSAM situation, I was a mess. But just like being at my age now, and like using social media the way we do now, I like talking to people even if they don't agree with me. You know what I mean? As long
Hmm.
as you're respectful to me, I'm gonna be respectful to you. And I just hope that because I'm about to drag the Ashfords today, so I hope that y'all all feel that same way.
Yeah, man, they were on one. So yeah, that was my week.
Yeah. Yeah, I was catching up. I had never watched West Wing, which people never believe of me at first because my job had been so like political before. Um, I used to be around people who spoke in West Wing jargon. Like they would talk, oh, this is just like that. I'm like, oh my God, like so annoyed by these people who would do that. But now I'm watching it. It's on Netflix, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just watch it from the beginning. It is giving me what I need in the midst of this current administration. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, this is
Hmm.
very sugary sweet. And I was deep into it, surprisingly, because I'm usually deep into Christmas movies around this time of year. But I got caught up watching GH on YouTube. I started a Carly playlist from like 2009, and I'm in
Wow.
like 2011 right now.
Wow.
I'm like, Curly has been my girl for years. Like, in the relationships, because we started like carjacks, then you get into like
Hmm.
her and maybe Sean, but not Sean, and then her and Johnny. And so right now I'm at the beginning
Oh, I
of Cart.
forgot.
Yeah, I know. Right? Right? And
Wow.
now I'm at the beginning of Cartod, which I really loved Carly and Todd. But you remember, like, One Life to Live had come over after One Life to Live was canceled, but then they had to like send folks back because they couldn't use it
Yeah.
anymore. That's how we got Franco, and I hated Carly and Franco. I think I'm probably gonna skip
Well,
that.
I mean, it's satisfying in the sense because the huge rift between Carly and Michael and Sonny started at the end of Carly and Franco, and it's just for me. I mean, the Carly and Franco as a couple was horrible, but
Yeah.
Franco's revenge was great
Oh yeah,
because
their fake
it
at their
was
not wedding.
yeah,
Oh
because he's like
yeah, yeah.
he's like eating popcorn. It was great.
Remains an iconic gif. Remains
Yeah,
iconic. Roger
yeah,
Howarth is so good, no matter even when I don't like a character that he's doing or whatever, he's always like very phenomenal. I hated
yeah.
Carly and Franco because I hate Franco. I hate James Franco the actor. So like, you know what I mean? It just was that never gonna work for me. But Friends, they did their thing. Him and
Yeah,
Becky
yeah,
had amazing chemistry, and I think Becky be Kevin.
he
You
does.
could you could think now every one of her pairs has like a fan base or pairings has a fan
Yeah.
base because girl be Kimmin.
She has great chemistry with everyone that she's
Yeah,
paired with.
yeah.
So it's just too bad her character don't know how to act.
Period.
It's
Period.
funny. Yeah, Rebecca Hurst knows how to act like her character who don't know how to act.
I love that no matter what, it's always be a Liz jab, but we love
Yeah,
us some Becky.
right.
Okay. So tell me, I can probably guess maybe a couple, but I want to know who was your performer of the week? Because then I want to get into the week. So, who were your performances of the week?
Yeah. I never just have one. It's crazy. Um, but first, um, the tear jerkers, of course. We have Giovanni Mata
Oh, so good.
finally able to play the violin, and oh my God, the violin song that he played was beautiful. But we'll go more into that in our discussion. Um, James Patrick Stewart, he didn't even have a lot, but what he
Hmm.
did was top tier.
Hmm.
It was great. Brooke Kerr,
Oh, a queen.
Queen. She had a lot going on. We'll talk about that as well, but she performed great. Um, Finally, my favorite little sweetie, Ethan Rocket Sweeta. he had his moments. He played it well. Love him. And finally, I just have to give a shout out to the random black journalist who was on that week interrogating um, um, Drew and Willow as they
Oh
were walking out of the
yeah,
courtroom. Shout
yes.
out. Somehow or the other, GH always finds some really great extras to come on and then have their 5 minutes of fame. That lady did it. She was lovely. I loved it. I cracked out loud. I almost spit out whatever I was eating. It was funny as hell. I loved it.
I forgot all about that. So funny.
So funny. So I'll describe it
I
because I
was
don't know
talking
if
to
we'll
your
talk.
wife.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to talk about it in depth in the conversation. I'll talk about it now. So Drew and Willow were coming out of the courtroom. They were being interrogated over Portia's testimony. And Drew was like, I said no comment. And she's like, I was talking to your wife. And she was like, don't come at me, sir, until I come for you. That's what she And she was like, yeah. So I loved it. Shout out to that actress,
So
whoever she
good.
was. Hope she comes back to give more sass. Just
Yeah,
interrogate everybody.
loved it. Okay,
Yeah.
loved it. Well, yes to all those performances. I want to start with Black Hospital.
Okay.
And let's get into it first. Let's not even bury the lead. So yeah, we have the week start. You know, things are Trent is being talked to. You know, we got all these things happening, and then some kind of way, Amy, who you know I already wasn't messing with, knew that Portia was at Isaiah's cabin. Tanya, how did she know?
So so you're assuming it was Amy that tipped off
So
Portia? That's
No,
who
Alexis said that,
tipped off Alexis. Yeah,
yeah.
her assistant found out.
Hmm.
Ah, no, no, that lady. Well, actually, Amy from the
The
nurse's
nurse,
hospital, the
yeah.
nurse, she know everything. That's
She is
right, I
nosy.
remember. She's hella nosy, and it does not actually surprise me that she knew that Portia and Isaiah have been having an affair. I mean, obviously, they haven't necessarily been really good at keeping it a secret. I mean, he comes into
Call it
our
an
office,
affair.
all of that. So yeah, I'm not shocked. We didn't get to see her find out, but I am not shocked that she did at
Right.
all.
Portia, get behind me. I have my sword out ready to defend you, girl. An alleged affair. No, but
Well,
so Isaiah and Portia are at his cabin. Thank you, Lucky. Shout out to Lucky. Um, and she gets subpoenaed. So she freaks out. She
mhm.
calls Ava. She's like, girl, what am I gonna do? And she goes to court. Nobody knows why she's gonna be there. And some kind of way, Alexis, for whatever reason, thinks it's a good idea to expose Drew as a blackmailer. That to me did not make any sense, regardless to what came out. But she, puts out there, questions Portia on the stand. Obviously, full drama. We got Trina there. We got Curtis there. We got Kai there. Blows the
Everybody
whole
was there,
everybody here to witness my girl humiliated. Okay.
right?
So she is asked, you must have a reason. So this is why she's called in because she has to expose what you did to her. So she's on the stand. She exposes that she faked these Heather Weber results. She exposes
Mhm.
that Drew's been blackmailing her, and they're like, so you hate him? And she's like, yeah, I hate him.
Yeah, she didn't lie
Obviously,
about that.
you would hate him too if it happened to you. So then they're like, well, maybe you killed him. Where were you at? Now, Tanya, we watch a lot of law shows. In what world would you have to give your alibi on the stand? I've never heard of this before, but we're doing it for the plot. We'll keep moving. So Portia has to admit in front of everybody, including Trina and Curtis, that her alibi was that she was at the Metro Court with Isaiah. Boom, break. Everybody's upset about it. Trina runs out. Curtis runs out. My first question for you. So obviously, Trina's upset. Portia's a liar. This is and that. Curtis comes out while Portia is trying to explain and tells her to stop talking to Trina, and Trina leaves with Kai. How did you feel about even just that small exchange of Curtis being like, "Quit talking to her"?
I was mad. First of all, my overall response was I was mad that GH made me yell fuck Curtis and Christmas because I was literally like, fuck you, Curtis. Fuck you. How dare you try to come between this conversation that she's having with her daughter had not well, it had everything to do with him, but still, she is not 5 years old. You ain't got to parent her who she's talking to.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that was literally my only comment on the whole thing because I was just like, fuck
Yeah.
Curtis. Over
Real.
and over. You need to title this episode Fuck Curtis. Cause man, I
I
was
called
like, oh
Curtis.
man.
I called Curtis a handsome, bald-headed demon. I was so mad at him. Don't forget the handsome. Shout out to Donnell. But
Right.
bald-headed demon. I was so
Yeah.
mad. So I feel like maybe you and I share like a similar opinion about this, but I do want to know. So, okay, further overview. And Trina's upset, don't want to talk to Portia. Portia's upset. Um, then we get to the holidays, we get to Christmas Day. Trina is with the Ashfords. The Ashfords are all talking about Portia and she better not show up here. When Stella said that Portia better not show up at her own house, I said, Stella, I love you, baby, but no, no, no. What
Oh,
one Curtis a broke boy when they bought that house anyway?
oh my
Wasn't that
goodness.
house bought on Portia dime?
They all forgot how Portia was literally the woman that was taking care of Curtis when he was shot. Prayed over him, made over the house, made sure he had everything that he needed. She was by his side 100% 10 toes
Mhm.
down.
Yeah.
And they're, oh my God, they just seemed to just forgot all of that.
Mhm. And it
And so,
also, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So my overall for that one was again, fuck the Ashfords, every last one of them.
It
Every last one of them. I was
it
like,
it also was
hell no.
upsetting because Portia has held down this family in a way that's like, I'm not stupid, right? I'm not
Right.
saying that you can't be mad at Portia. That's not what I'm saying. But the behavior, had Daddy wouldn't have known about his like not being schizophrenic if it had not been for Portia.
Right.
She was the one who pushed that.
Oh my
She's like
goodness.
she was the one who stayed by Curtis with his like she's literally put herself on the line for every single one of her family members. When Stella got arrested, Portia was like, I don't care. I may be the chief of staff and it might look bad if you me standing behind her, but I'm gonna stand 10 toes behind something. Stella was wrong. Do I
Mm-hmm.
now, I'm not mad at Stella for what she did, but what she did was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And Portia stood 10 toes behind her. So I know that there are people who are not gonna agree with us, and that's okay. But because I want to go all the way back to why I feel the way I feel about it. Now, people keep bringing back, or some people bring up the fact that Portia was a part of or in the midst of Jordan and Curtis's marriage when they were married. Portia was wrong for that. I never liked Curtis. I felt like Curtis was way more wrong than anybody for any of this. But I never liked that. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
messy. It was a way to like escort Jordan off the screen. It just never made a lot of sense to me. I never liked it. Fast forward, Curtis still made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis has been bouncing and volleying back and forth between these two women the whole time. So this idea that like Portia is like some sort of evil for this, nah. So then we get to their wedding when the whole Trina thing was exposed. Okay, Portia was wrong for that. Like I have problems with the writing on that, but I'll stand, writing it, or characters is about the writing when it's a character that you like, and it's about the writing when it's a character that you don't like, and people mean that in different ways, right? So we have to stand behind what's been on the page. I didn't like that, but the night of his wedding, he went and kissed up on Jordan.
Hmm.
I haven't forgotten. He has been
Hmm.
volleying between these two women. So then all of these things are supposed to be forgiven. And how I am as a person, if I forgive you, I forgive you. If I don't forgive you, I don't forgive you. And we're not going to be in each other's lives. And that's how I expect people to treat me. So if Curtis had not forgiven Portia for all of this, then he should not have continued to be married to her. That's where I stand on it. So then we
Right.
get through all of these things, and everybody feels like they have to be perfect for Curtis. If I mess up, then like Curtis is going to be mad at me. Meanwhile, Curtis can do his thing, and you don't, and like you have to just be down with it. So Curtis can get involved with Selena Wu, which puts your entire family in jeopardy, and you have to just be down with it. So then we get to what Portia did and how she was up. I called it when Portia was like manipulating, or when Portia was manipulating Curtis on Drew's behest. I was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good. I'm
Hmm.
not saying that was right, but I am saying that Curtis has been leaning on Jordan in an emotional affair for a long time now. And part of the reason that Portia or that Jordan is foul about it is that Jordan kept being up in their house. What kind of woman are you to go over to a house of a man that you still want to be with, got feelings with, or carry on an emotional affair with?
Hmm.
Stay away. Y'all ain't got no kids. You would share no mutual friends, as Maya would say. Like, you don't have that. Y'all have ushered TJ off screen, so y'all ain't even got him to talk about. Why? What is the thing here? And I just don't prescribe to this idea that Portia cheated and Curtis didn't. Curtis, the moment before it was even over, Curtis was ready to be with Jordan.
Hmm.
Isaiah and Portia didn't even weren't even remotely looking like a thing. We didn't even notice the chemistry until, do you remember the episode? It was that Jordan and Curtis were like reminiscing about their time together, looking all lovey-dovey by the pool.
Hmm.
Isaiah saw that Portia was stressed and was like, let's just go to the pool. They didn't know they were there. Portia sees the whole thing, goes off on Jordan, and Jordan's like, I can't believe. What do you mean you can't believe? You know you want to be with this man. I'm not saying you got to take in, snapped on. You could be like, that's my man. I want him, whatever. I'm not buying the innocent act, the
Right.
we didn't do anything wrong act. Carter's over here
Mm-mm.
saying that we were honorable. No, you weren't. No, you were not. You
No.
were having an emotional affair with this woman. You were leaning on this woman while you were married. You were cheating on your wife. You were
Hmm.
having a full-blown relationship with Jordan before y'all broke up. And Portia slept with Isaiah the after she said to you, if you leave here, it's over.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not saying it was right, but I'm certainly saying she's not more wrong than him. That's how I feel about
I agree. But at the end of the day, they all of them, that's what my problem is. All of them act like they had never made a mistake,
it. Yes.
that they are holier than thou, and that the one mistake that Portia made, which she explained, was not admitting that the baby might not be Curtis's, was because she was trying to keep it a secret. And they're all the ones go around telling everybody and their mama what was happening. Jordan, the worst. She's the one that told Portia's secret in the first place.
Mhm,
None of them should have known she was pregnant at all if it wasn't for Jordan.
mhm,
And so for them to be acting all holier than thou and then be like, she better not step up in this house on Christmas, the nerve.
mhm.
The nerve. I was just like, y'all are some. Yeah,
Yep.
no.
Yeah.
Lack of empathy, lack of compassion, you know, was just really horrific to me.
Yes.
Rena,
Oh, talk about it. Get her.
how dare you betray my dad? First of all, how dare you portray your own dad by calling this man your dad? Because your
Oh,
real dad
somewhere in
is
the
out
bottom of the bottle.
somewhere at the bottom of the bottle and you could care less. You haven't given him a single thought. And you're crying over the fact that, oh my God, my mom had an affair. Girl, sit down. Sit down. You are not 12 years old. You are supposed to be a grown woman. You're supposed to have empathy for all of your parents.
Hmm.
Heaven forbid you make a mistake. Heaven forbid you do something wrong and they just totally dismiss you the same way that you dismiss your parents as soon as they do something that makes you unhappy. Girl, have several seats. I was like, yeah, I included her in the big fuck you, all of them, every last one of them, because they
Yeah.
were just low down,
Yeah.
as my mom would say, low down.
Yeah. And so here, here's what like frustrated me. I like what you said. It is the behavior as if nobody else was messed up. Again, I'm not saying Portia is perfect. I'm not saying she's not been wrong. What I'm saying is the way they're behaving does not match the level of wrong that Portia has been. Because let's take it back to them even knowing she was pregnant. Jordan, Curtis has set up a relationship dynamic so tough that lying to him means that you don't deserve him. So
Mm-hmm.
Jordan trying to get in his good graces. I don't even want to call Portia's pregnancy a secret. It is her business. If y'all listen to this
Hey.
podcast, you know how I feel about women and their bodies and their pregnancies. That's my body. That's my pregnancy, and who I bring into it is the person who gets to know.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And so if Portia was lying, or if she was like, trying to pit people against each other around the baby, when Isaiah found out, she was directly like, this is what it is. And the only reason she wasn't honest with Curtis is because of Trina. Because apparently she was right. The moment Trina
Mm-hmm.
found something out, she threw her mama away. And that to me, we have to talk about the character development of Trina. We got to be honest about it. Trina has been so regressed as a character, it has been ridiculous. And I have said so many times, I said this even during the Sprina day when people were like, "Oh, Jordan," or "Oh, Portia ain't nothing. She trying to come in between Spencer and Trina. We F Jordan, F Portia, F da 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 da." You cannot have one strong black character. That is not how characterization works. That's not how storytelling works, and that's certainly not how soap storytelling works. You actually have to have a strong ecosystem around a character. And because
Mm-hmm.
GH has done nothing but dismiss and throw away black characters, you needed to overcorrect for a character like Trina.
Mm-hmm.
Trina was not supposed to be Trina. Trina was who she was because Sydney built that character brick by brick. That character was recurring, and she kept getting more and more and more. They built the family around Trina because we found out about her dad first. We found out about her relationship and her connection to Taggart first. Not because like Taggart was like some big legacy character, but because he had a connection to Sunny, because people knew him because he had been on screen. That is how you bring characters in with other characters in a family that we know. Portia came in after Taggart.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, okay, we really trying to submit Trina here by giving her soap legend Brooke Kerr as her mother. And then they never wrote for Portia. And I said, that's a problem. She just plot device, plot device, plot device. You have to root her into the story. There is not one character that we know who gets good story who is not surrounded by good story. And so you have this situation where you never wrote. And you cannot advocate for Trina and be like, oh, black characters deserve this, black women deserve that. And you're not advocating for Portia and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense. Jordan was a decent character. People were waiting for Jordan to like get her like due. People were waiting for her to get her big romance. That's who Isaiah was supposed to be. Now, mind you, I am an Isaiah Portia fan. People call him Black Scrubs. I think Tara coined that. I love it. But originally, he was for Jordan, and people were excited for Jordan. They were like, "Oh my God,
Hmm.
two beautiful people. Let's see where this goes." And then ever since the moment they broke up Isaiah and Jordan, Jordan has looked like a fool,
Ugh, big fool. Big
chasing
beautiful
behind her,
fool.
a big, beautiful fool. She's been chasing behind Curtis and not getting. I was like, what happened to her supposed to be getting like tea on
Be well.
Sidwell? Nothing. Nothing. She has done nothing that has like cemented her. And so for me, when I look at Portia, my question is not why you it's not saying you have to like Portia. My thing is you have to ask the question, why is Portia not given likable things to do? Why is Portia being like thrown to the wolves? When they were trying to build Sprina, I was excited because I thought we were gonna see like um Taggart be like, oh, I don't like Spencer because of my connection with
Yeah.
Nicholas, that Portia wouldn't have been on her limb a limb by herself. Instead, they further cemented Trina's relationship with Ava as her talk to
Hmm.
and like put Portia even further to the wing and be like, oh, it was like, oh, Portia isn't really important because Ava is like her bestie. Portia has done nothing but like essentially exist for Trina until the moment she got with Isaiah.
Hmm.
So to me, I just have to look at it and say that Trina has not been developed. What I would have liked to see from Trina with this situation is for her to have been mad at Portia, but still checking on her. End of the day,
Right.
Portia's still pregnant. Portia's still in a high risk pregnancy. Portia was in such a high risk pregnancy that she had to be hospitalized on bed rest, and y'all wanted her to come home with you to take care of her. So instead of like caring about that, she's just out in the world because Curtis, the baby might not be yours. Trina, the baby's still gonna be your sibling.
Right.
So you're
You
like,
get
oh, my
and
mom is texting me, but you're not checking. I'm mad at you, but like, are you okay? That is what like a more adult character would do instead of
yeah.
whatever they have her written to do.
Right.
Oh, talk. I want to know your take on her inviting Jordan over.
I'm like, Jordan does not deserve your apology.
Mhm.
You were right about everything that you said about her. She was stalking your dad. She was wrong for everything, being in the business, showing up at the jail, acting like she's somebody's lawyer and she's not. She just like everything that Trina had said was right and on point. And
Mhm.
she come inviting her over for Christmas over her mom. Woo! I was too through. I was like, that's the wrong apology, baby girl.
And then
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it at all. There was something to be like, you know what? I understand that this was more complicated than I knew, and I should not have put my parents' marriage on your shoulders. I think
Yeah,
that's appropriate, but this is when it comes to writing a new nuance and caring about who Trina is as a character. Because right now she's being thrown to the wolves the way that her mama has been thrown to the wolves. But people didn't want to advocate for her mama, so now it looks like, well, what do you mean it's all the same? Jordan
yeah.
says to Curtis the day before when they're at the Metro Court, mind you, this is before Portia takes the stand. This is before people know what's happening. So your divorce papers aren't even signed, filed. Y'all ain't really moved nothing along. People know your wife is pregnant because you didn't told everybody, and you out on a date with Jordan kissing up on her in the middle of the Metro Court. And she's like, oh well, Trina thinks that my presence undermined his marriage. It did.
It did.
It did.
She was
The
right.
fact that he has to like come to you to say, I am getting divorced so that we can be together. and we can be together, because you don't put the so there, because you're not like, I'm doing it so we can be together, it doesn't mean that that's not implied.
Yeah.
You are getting divorced so that you can be with Jordan. If maybe, and I didn't want Portia and Curtis together anyway. I actually hate power imbalance relationships where one person has to feel like they have to walk on eggshells around another person to be with them. And that's the dynamic Curtis set up. And we don't know, Curtis, maybe you would have decided to work on your marriage more if you did not know you had a safety blanket. You
Yeah.
knew you had somebody to go to after this marriage was over. And then you just talking like, oh, well, Portia's gonna be all by herself. What?
Mm-mm.
I just,
That was a big assumption. Like he assumes that everyone is just going to be lone and lonely without him. Like he is the sun and everybody else is orbiting around him. No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Portia always also said, fair or not fair, like Trina sees her mother as the injured party. Again, y'all haven't even signed, filed nothing, a divorce paper. We haven't even seen y'all meet with divorce lawyers, and you kissing your ex-wife who's been around your family outside your family home on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like, why would I not be mad about that? It just, I feel like Black Hospital really took a tumble when they built it around Curtis. When they moved the center of gravity from around Trina to being around Curtis, and so everybody has to be written to orbit Curtis, it's been a problem,
Hmm.
in my opinion. Well, that is, we'll come back to Black Hospital, I'm sure. I just wanted to start with them because one feeling it, didn't like it. It's propaganda I'm not falling for. And I really do hope that it backfires because again, I'm not saying people have to be completely on Portia's side. We never say things like that. But I do think there was a heavy-handedness to it that was a little bit too much. That was like Trina smiling in Jordan's face, saying it wasn't her fault, calling Hat Daddy in from a concert on the road. What?
My family needed me. I have to leave the concert because everyone's upset that this baby might not be my grandson. I mean, that's not a reason. You still
It
need to
certainly is not a reason. Go to
take
work.
yourself to work,
Go to work. Go to
right?
work.
Go to work.
I mean, and the reality is, had Isaiah not come to Portia, like she would have been alone. And
Right.
again, stressed out, don't know what's going on, but y'all so mad, nobody's concerned about the pregnancy. And she's out here calling her mama a liar and Curtis just don't give a damn. What are we doing? You talking
Mm-mm.
about the same Curtis that was just about to hire somebody to kill Drew and decided the
Yeah.
last 5 minutes beforehand that he didn't want to do it? Okay. All right. Well, let's get back into Drew. We are back. We are still in court, Willow's court hearing. We have before we have Portugal on the stand, who do we have? Harrison
True.
Chase.
Oh, Harrison. Oh. Oh my goodness. Excuse me.
You're like, oh yeah, that did happen. Um, Chase goes on the stand. So I love that Chase shows up with Brooklyn. He looks, he sees Dante. He was like, I didn't know Dante was gonna be here.
He honestly thought that he could just get away with saying whatever he wanted to say, and no one in the police department would find out.
Like,
Sir,
even if Dante wasn't there, you think that
what?
they wouldn't have known what you said? Also,
He's so wild.
why would Dante not be there? It is weird to have a police officer like coming and speaking on behalf of the defendant, actually.
Yeah,
So of course he's
yeah.
gonna be there.
Wonder what is this man gonna say? on the stand.
I feel like, um, again, we watch enough shows that do court that I'm confused about the laziness of the writing for what they're doing here. Because even like last week when they were talking to, was it Michael, whoever they were talking to, oh,
Uh-huh.
Elizabeth, like they didn't remind them that Michael had been in the house and had an opportunity to plant the gun. They talked about like the Chase talked about the kind of way the gun was like the chain of evidence or chain of command chain of evidence of the gun. Denver brought up like the warrant and then Michael having the opportunity to move it. Michael being at Willow's house.
Well, I think maybe Alexis was like, you only talk about the police's case. Don't point the direction at Michael. I think she might have told him that because she
Well,
kept warning Drew not to do
she's already
it.
pointed at Michael.
Well, she's pointed, but at the beginning, before she got that little note, she was trying to not have the focus be on Michael because she felt it was like false, like would have been a false lead and people would have believed it because she like Willow is against Michael, etc. So she didn't want Drew to do that. She probably told Chase not to do it.
But even at
But
that, but she even this is from the week before, but she didn't have
yeah.
Elizabeth do it. Not
Oh
necessarily
yeah.
point the finger at Michael, but to be like,
But
this
at
is
least
possible.
say,
Right.
yeah, to
You
say
wouldn't
who
want,
else. Yeah,
right.
she could have been like, who else was in the house during that time? That's all she had to
Carly
say.
too. Carly
Yeah,
too. Because even if
right.
Carly didn't shoot Drew because she has an alibi, doesn't mean
Yeah,
she couldn't have helped plant the weapon.
right.
It's just
Carly's
weird. And somebody was like,
Carly's planting a lot of stuff all over the place, supposedly.
right, right. And somebody who like answered me on Twitter was like, "Oh well, she might do it at cross." I was like, "Yeah, maybe they want a moment, but the reality
Yeah,
is you wouldn't want the jury to sit with that information if you could
right.
like whatever, like you would push back and say no, 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 no." So anyway, we have Chase get on the stand, and Chase said the police had the wrong suspect. He believes Willow's innocent. He believes that they didn't look at the right people. That other people didn't have alibis. That they had just arrested Curtis, or that he didn't say Curtis's name, but a suspect, and they just let him go. And then it was a miscarriage of justice because Willow would never. Dante's face the whole time cracked me up. Dante was so
He was pissed. And then that
mad.
following conversation. Woo!
Well, right. So ADA gets up and was like, okay, so you did this your own investigation. Did you find anything to exonerate her? And they don't say anything. Or he says no. I also found this is the other thing that I'm like, this is what I'm talking about with like lazy writing. As I told y'all, I've been watching GH from like 2009, 2010. The budget was budgeting, baby. Okay. I was watching the pathogen story came up and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
they was blowing stuff up. They was on us like like the budget was budgeted. The hospital full of extras. Okay. Money was
Right.
flowing. Like it wasn't because they go to the hospital now, it's like maybe a couple nurses in the background. This was like full of extras. People coughing, it's all over the place. Um, they got music. All right, we ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
The budget is not budgeting like it used to. But that is around like some storyline points, plot points, things like that that can't happen. It's not about lazy writing. You cannot write lazy on a budget. So I found it to be really interesting that they didn't bring up Chase's past with Nell. Did you think they were going to bring that up?
Yeah, but how? Like, how could they bring it up even though it's like a past case and it's nothing to do, well, except for Willow is Nell's sister, but like, how would they be able to do that legally?
Well, if I'm the DA, you got to put Chase's credibility on trial.
Oh,
Because here
that's
you are,
true.
like you're a
Yeah.
witness. So you say, have you ever done this before? Have you
Yeah, have you?
ever looked outside of
But
the case, gone outside
yeah,
of the, because that's what happened with him and Nell? That she got
Right.
him in trouble, then he moved to Port Charles. So I just think the parallel of you've actually done this before. And actually for this person's sister, twin
Yeah.
sister,
Which
like
is cool.
you've done
Twin
like
sister.
you've
Yeah.
done this before. That when you believe someone is innocent, you go over and above for them, and then what happens? You thought Nell was
Hmm.
innocent, and what happened? She murdered this other person.
Right.
Like I just
That would totally taken him out of the picture as far as credibility.
right. But it's like I don't know why I don't understand why they're writing it this way. Because that would have given, you know,
Hmm.
you give the prosecution a blow, the you give the defense a blow. Like both of the things I just pointed out would have been doing both of those things. So I'm just
Yeah.
confused as to why we're not saying that. But like I said, we did see Chase get up there and make a fool of himself.
Hmm.
Dante tells him to come to the police station, and Dante checks him. Tell me how you felt about the Chase Dante conversation.
I mean, Chase was really on one because
Hmm.
he not only he didn't blame the police department, he blamed Dante. In his mind, he felt like Dante was doing everything that he could to throw the case away from Michael
Yeah.
because according to Chase, Dante was feeling guilty about what happened to Michael and back in the day. He didn't want it to repeat. And so
Hmm.
he blamed Dante for a lot of stuff that wasn't his decision. It wasn't his decision to focus on Willow. That was Anna's. It wasn't his decision to drop the charges on Curtis. That was the lawyer lady. And so, but Chase was assuming that Dante was running the whole case by himself, that he wasn't being fair to Willow. He forgot to think in his mind that Dante was actually the reason why Curtis was even brought up because Dante had assigned it to Nathan. And
Yeah.
so he just totally reamed Dante out. And I don't even know why he was so angry at Dante because they were supposed to have been friends before. But it looks like
Hmm.
Chase is just like throwing everybody under the bus for Willow, which is
Right.
really crazy to me. And so, yeah, it was like Chase was throwing low blows. He was self righteous.
Hmm.
And I was so happy that Dante was like, for now you're suspended. Whether or not you're cut, I can't make that decision, but you're suspended tonight. He was being so insubordinate. I was like, man, Dante, it was everything Dante could do because I wanted to punch him myself. But Dante didn't do that. Um, but but man, Chase, he is like, if he and he keeps justifying it. I was like, man, if I was Brooklyn, oh, we'll talk about that later too, because she has a conversation. But man, Chase was like out
Hmm.
of line. He deserves every last punishment he gets. That man has been, and I was thinking about this on the way back from church. Like he's been suspended so many times. So many
Hmm.
times. He needs to be kicked off the force. Because
Hmm.
this is not his first, like you said, Nell. And then he was suspended for something else in between. Oh, because of
Or
Brooklyn or
punching somebody.
something,
Yeah. Yeah.
touching Brooklyn. And, the man is not a
No, no,
good
no.
detective.
Punching Valentine, I think.
Valentine, yeah, for
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I mean, he is not good when it comes to detaching himself from whatever woman he's involved with. It's just sad.
Yeah. It was, if I was Brooklyn, I would be embarrassed. And I
I
don't
would be.
understand why they're allergic to giving Brooklyn and Chase drama. I'm not even saying they have to break up, but I am
I want them to
saying
break up.
you're so
I don't
funny.
like them together.
I, hey, but I'm not
I'm
even
over
saying
it.
that. I get it. I definitely get it. But you give them some drama. That's like real drama. No way you are like about to throw your career away for your ex-wife publicly, and I'm gonna be like, oh, that's okay. What are we doing? This the same man who acted a fool on you because you didn't write a letter for him and made it seem like y'all couldn't be together because you didn't write a letter for him. But all of a sudden, he ready to throw it, like risk it all and throw it away for Willow. because Willow, who won't even defend herself, Willow, who went back to Drew, you have
No,
done.
that wasn't Willow. That was Drew.
Oh
Drew
my God.
brainwashed her,
You done
according to
did.
Chase.
You've undermined Michael and his children, all of that. And then for Michael to tell Brooklyn, like, oh, don't let them, whatever, whatever. No, I actually don't need Michael
Yeah.
to do that. Chase has done nothing but undermine him as a father, him as a person, him as a
Mhm.
man. And
Right.
I'm sorry, this whole like, oh my God, well, Michael stole Willow from Chase. I don't want to hear it. It wasn't that serious.
It really
Again,
wasn't.
these are like the things where you can say one thing and it's like, dang, that do sound really messed up. But when you talk about the like actuality of what happened, like it's not the same. So you can say, oh, Willow and Michael like had an affair on Chase. Well, Willow married Chase because he was dying. She thought he was going to die, and she stayed with him until he got better. And she gave into her feelings for Michael. She was not
Yeah.
really in that marriage. Like, stop. That's not the same as what she did to Michael.
It's not
It's
the
not the same.
same.
It's not the same. It's similar to being like, oh, Portia lied about this baby yet again to Curtis. Yeah, and Portia had a whole plan about what she was going to do, and Jordan took those choices away from her, and she lied by omission. And she was put in like a really impossible situation because look at these people the way they're treating her now.
And Chase, if you were really in love with your wife, you wouldn't care. I mean, yes, you would care, but you wouldn't care enough to throw away your career and your wife over some woman that you used to be in a relationship with. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And I want to know if they're going to drop the whole Daisy thing because Willow has done like Willow was willing to get into the mud for
Right.
with Drew for my if you it was so interesting to see. So when we had Portia on the stand and it comes out, they have Willow look almost surprised. I'm like, no, Willow actually knew that Drew was doing this. Willow knew that Drew was going to like change Michael's drug test to make it look like Michael was abusing drugs, and she did not care.
Yeah.
And Chase is over here like she would never. I know her heart. I know the kind of person she is. When she everything that she has done has been about this man. She's looked silly for months, a year now, actually.
And one also, I was hoping we didn't get to see. I mean, we saw a little bit of a conversation that Brooklyn had with Chase before they went into Maxie's house, but I really
Mhm.
wanted Brooklyn to just lit into Chase, and
Yeah.
she didn't. And one of the things I hope she does is to make sure that Chase knows that Michael was rooting for them. Michael is forgiving of him, and he's the one that's still acting a fool. But we didn't get to see that conversation, and she didn't do that. But I hope she throws it in his face at some point.
hmm hmm Yeah. It,
Yeah.
I- and I would have also liked for Mac and Nathan to kind of give him a side eye.
Yeah.
Where is the drama?
Mac was being magnanimous because it's Christmas. He was just like, no, not nope, we're not talking about it. I was
But
like,
give him a side eye, and then let somebody say, "Hey, can we let it go for Christmas?" Like,
oh
what
yeah,
is up with the allergic to drama? Let there be some drama. That's natural drama. When you're telling these
yeah,
stories, like allow them to play out in a way that like make people real people. Because here's what
yeah,
I will also say that I'm taking it back to Portia, but it's like Portia, it's like Brooklyn and Chase, when you do these things that force something, that I think is when the audience starts turning against you. I
hmm,
remember way back when I felt like this was like a Twitter thing when people were like, "Oh my God, poor Nina." People are like, it's being forced against her. And the reality is it kind of wasn't. The problem that people have with Nina is that they tried to force Sona. I'm not saying that Sona couldn't have happened and wouldn't have happened. But I am saying that like pretending like nobody had a problem with it, that like you kind of disappeared Christina so she couldn't have a reaction. And the only people who was really mad about it was Carly's family, but like everybody else acted like it was normal of what Nina did. No, that's actually wild. And if you would have had
Hmm.
her constantly confronted and feeling like I was wrong about this, then you would have had a different story. Because you know who they did that to? Elizabeth. When Elizabeth
Hmm.
kept Drusen a secret,
Oh,
like
and no,
that's go ahead.
she Elizabeth got it worse when the information came out that she was having an affair with Nicholas.
Yeah,
Man,
true.
Lulu made her
Iconic.
an outcast. She had to go into psychiatric help to
Yeah,
get over that. That
icon
was crazy.
iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic. And so it's like you have a longtime character like Elizabeth who has to pay these consequences, but then you have us like you start trying to retell a story to make it look like Nixon Falls was a romance. People kind of
Hmm.
buck against that. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Shalyn if you try to tell the story like is right and it's all good. No, you're taking away Brooklyn's agency, and I'm never about taking away the agency of a woman character. You're
Hmm.
taking that away and you're forcing it. It's same thing with Portia. You're taking like you are forcing it with everybody supposedly being mad at her. It
Hmm.
was too much. So you know, write better is what I'm saying. Um, but so anyway, going back to this, like we have Portia's testimony, terrible. It all looks bad for Alexis. They kind of are making Alexis look an incompetent lawyer because in
Hmm.
what world would a defense attorney put somebody on the stand and not know what they're gonna say? If you are if you're a witness for the defense preps you.
Yep.
In what world would you not have prepped Portia or let her know? Like that just didn't make sense. She has to not lie under oath. So you could just tell her what you're gonna ask her.
Hmm.
You know, it just didn't make any sense. It made sense for the drama. It made sense for the plot. It did not make sense in telling a story that Alexis is like a competent and actually brilliant attorney because that was a very stupid move. You and I
Yeah.
could have done it better as a defense attorney. I don't know. It was silly. We find out the trial is on hold. It's for 2 weeks.
Hmm. That
And
judge was like, I'm going on vacation. It's
I'm not
Christmas. They're like, we could do more. They're like, nope, get out.
nah, nah, bye, bye. Me and this non-sequester jury, we out of here. Jury, you gotta
Right.
read all you can. Didn't even tell
Jury's
the
gonna get
jury.
all Jury's gonna get all the gossip in the next 2 weeks.
Jury tainted. They like, bye, we out of here. And so Alexis, after getting snapped on by Drew, gets a letter that says Michael and Tracy had like that. Michael was at the house and Tracy knew. Merry Christmas. Now,
Merry
there's some
Christmas.
speculation. Who do you think the letter's from?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's from the assistant, like she knows everything.
Oh, see, I thought it was just from
But
Martin.
remember there was somebody that was listening to Michael and Tracy's conversation when they were in the
I thought it was
house.
Martin
And so he thought it was Martin.
because he was already on the grounds.
Mhm.
Whatever. So the letter goes, I was looking at the letter. Miss Davis, thought you might find the following information useful. On the night of Congressman Kane's shooting, Michael Corinthos is at Drew's house and Tracy Portermain saw him there. Merry Christmas. And
Lying on the stand.
and for me, I'm also like, if if we caught Willow in the cameras, did they not also catch Michael?
Right. They should have caught Michael. They should have caught Frida. They should have caught Tracy. everybody that was at the house. That,
Yes.
I was like, this is the most inept police department ever. Because the other evidence was mislabeled.
Yeah.
You have warrants misspelled, all this kind of
Hmm.
stuff. I don't know who is not doing their job, but man, it was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. That was bad. Yeah.
And they still haven't, they have, their clearance rate must be 10%.
In the gutter.
Better. They have not solved the mystery. They have not solved the murder. No cases. It's crazy. It's wild. What are they
Could
doing?
not. Could not. So we had a lot of like holiday celebrations. People did Christmas Eve, Christmas, and Boxing Day. I was like, that's interesting. Okay. Very American Port Charles doing Boxing Day. Um, maybe,
Sid Will's an expat, I guess.
yeah, but the Qs were doing Boxing Day too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, first thing is we have a couple of different celebrations. Well, a celebration by celebration. So the first celebration that we saw, we have Christmas Eve. It is at Alexis's house. We have the Davis girls. We have Danny. We have Jason, which warmed my heart a little bit. See Jason with,
Yeah.
Sam's family. What did
Yeah.
not warm my heart was Britt calling him and interrupting the day, and Jason
First
going
of
to see her.
all,
Tell me,
we're
tell me.
skipping what happened with Brett
Oh, that
and
was that wasn't this week, but yes, you go ahead.
yeah, so yeah, God, what's his name?
Brad.
Britt's friend. Brandon Britt. How you gonna just not? They're gonna order everything on the menu and you have to be thrown in jail. That was wild. I was actually glad that Brad came back because Brad and Britt are funny as hell. I liked it. I know that was last week and I wasn't here, but I enjoyed Brad being back. Up to shenanigans, talking, walking around looking like he's wealthy and he ain't got a dime to his name. Loved it. Um, but yeah, why did Britt call Jason? Right. I guess, yeah, she called Nina first and Nina didn't pick up her phone.
Yeah.
And so she could have, who else could she have called? Nobody, I guess her mama. She could have called,
Nathan.
but Nathan, but yeah, she called Jason. And I love the fact that when Jason gets there, he's like, yeah, I ain't bailing him out.
I hated
That's
everything
great.
about Jason leaving for Brett. Brett,
Yeah.
like, I again, I am, you know, I was J Sam down. I also love Sante. I am a
Mhm.
Sam. I've pretty much loved every Sam shit. I'm trying to think of what I didn't like. I've loved every Sam shit. Even Silas. I know people didn't like it. I love every Sam shit. For Jason, I love J Sam, and that's it. Now, I'm not anti a lot. Like I'm anti liaison, just 'cause, because that's just who I am. It's too deep in me, and I don't
Yeah.
like Jason and Carly just because I'm a fan of their friendship. I only say that to say that I would be open to Jabrit. I wouldn't like it, but I wouldn't hate it. Like it's fine. S- So the fact that I am so disgusted by it, I would have to say that the writing is really bad for them. Jason's like a single dad. He takes care of everybody. Why do we need him with another person to take care of? Not a person that matches him. Not a person who I don't even want to put this in the air, but I hate Liaison. I hate Jason and Liz. But it feels
Hmm.
like at this point in his life, it would make more sense for him to be with her than it makes for
Oh
him to be
yeah.
with Brett.
Yeah. Brett is
Liz's
so
kids ain't even coming
immature.
home for the
Right?
holidays. like, this is a man who has so much going on, so many responsibilities, so many people who depend upon him. And if you were calling him for something real, that's very different than like having to take you home for being drunk, having to get called because you dined and dashed. No, I don't want to see it. I like,
Yeah.
and then knowing that Danny is going through so much. and he has to leave his holiday celebration with his son to come get you because you silly.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I couldn't.
He would have been very well within his rights to have them stay the night in the jail.
Yeah,
That's what should have done. Because these are two grown adults ordering a whole bunch of food and they had no money for. They deserve to be spending the night in jail at the very least.
they do.
You
But
know,
thank you, Jason, for your 40% tip. I'm also sure in a place like that,
40%.
gratuity is also added. So hopefully that
Right.
waiter had a good
He
a
had a
good
good night.
holiday.
He had a good holiday.
And I believe in tipping well. So shout out to Jason for that.
That's a double tip.
Right. I'm
That was
like,
a really good.
they should have said he tipped 100%. But I'll take what they said. Um,
Yeah.
I also thought it was funny that Brad was like, he doesn't care about you. If he cared about you, he would care about me. Brad, please.
So,
Get out of here. Get out of here, Brad.
yeah.
Nobody cares. But let's get into so they have the holiday celebration. I also loved at the that Danny was talking to Molly. So Jason gets
Mhm.
completely out of character and explains to Molly that Cody was only or Britt was kissing Cody, not the other way around. I said, "Oh, in what world does Jason Morgan do this?" Okay. Uh,
He's a
so
softer, he's a softer, gentler Jason.
I did like that. And then I
Yeah.
loved little Danny being like, "Can I give you some advice about guys?" And then like Molly and Kristen looking at him like, "Who the hell?" And then him being like, "Men are dumb. We're dumb, actually."
Yeah.
Um,
Very.
so cute. I really love their family dynamic. And I know that you don't care about Molly and Cody, but I just felt like we don't see them enough. So either let it happen or let it not happen. And so now it has happened.
I will have to give it up for one scene. I thought it was very cute that and I may be jumping ahead a little bit. Yeah, it was New
Mhm.
Year's. Never mind. I'm jumping ahead, but I thought what happened on New Year's or the night before or the day after Christmas was cute.
Well,
Um,
we can go to that celebration.
yeah,
So we
yeah,
also have, Scout missing her family because Drew was like, based
yes.
on Alexis's performance, you ain't you
You
not seeing
ain't saying
Scout.
nothing. Yeah,
Willow goes off and is like, listen, for Scout, for me, whatever. Willow, I could never give you a 10. But that's good. I'm glad that Scout got to see her family. Before,
yeah.
so there's like a whole like Noodle Buddha celebration where they're watching rom-coms. Cody comes over. Can we talk a little bit about Kristen Vaganos' physical comedy
He's
when
great.
when he like rings the doorbell, knocking on the door. They don't know who it is. So she goes to the door and sees that it's Cody, and then she drops down.
To
That
the
girl is
ground.
so funny.
Side note, have you seen this video that was posted on Facebook? But apparently Kristen Vaganos did a video with some other comedy dudes. And
Yes.
they're
Mhm.
yes, it is
Yeah.
hilarious. Kristen
She's
Vaganos
very
is
funny.
funny.
Yeah. She has such
Yes.
range. She is like
Yes.
very funny, but when it comes to like really emotional scenes, she's got it. She has
Yeah.
great chemistry with all of her scene partners. We really lucked out with her as Molly. She's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very funny. And so Cody comes in and Cody um thanks her for waiting in a line for him, wants to spend New Year's with her, which she says yes to, and he stays with the Davis girls and watches rom-coms. I think this is
But
what you were
that was
getting to.
yeah, I thought it was so cute that they're all on the couch and he's watching rom-coms with them. I was like, oh, so that's sweet.
And
I
then he
like
started
that.
crying, and Molly had to
They're
hand him a
crying to
tissue.
get tissue. Yeah, it was great. You don't
Yeah,
see that all the time.
yeah. I liked that. I thought it was a really good. I really, as much as I was mad about things, I really enjoyed this week. I will say that. I thought that
Yeah.
the relationships, I thought having certain people at different holiday celebrations, and Cody and Molly, I will say that those two actors are both very funny. So I can imagine that they probably have a great time like figuring out how to play off of each other. Um,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
we'll
I have
see.
to say, I don't like Cody as a character, but Josh
Yeah,
Kelly, the more I get to know him, the more I admire him. He's a really great guy. I
yeah,
just don't like the fact, again,
yeah.
Cody had taken up Sam McCall money and he seemed pretty useless to me. I was just like, he was just like the worst. He was telling everybody's business. I just did not like him.
Yeah, for
So
real. Just just random Dante's friend from horse camp. This
yeah,
is too
I
much.
was
Get
just
out of
like,
here.
no, just like,
But but I did it. I did enjoy that. Um, Other holidays we have Sunny's house. Or no, let's start Lulu's house. We have Lulu's house, which Dante and Gio decided to put aside their differences to get
Mhm.
together. We gonna all be in this whole thing. We have cutie little Scarlet, aka Donna Corinthos, leaving from the Corinthos house or from Carly's house. She finds Valentine's little Christmas tree.
She's like, Santa left a Christmas tree in the attic. And
I
poor
love
clueless
it.
Brennan, he is not catching any kind of clue. Carly was like, Donna, you're not supposed to go to the attic. Donna, why are you in the attic? Donna. And Donna was just like, well, because blah, blah, blah. I wanted a bracelet. I wanted
I
a
was looking
ribbon
for
or
a
whatever.
ribbon, and
And Brennan doesn't.
I love that Christina, because this is so realistic, especially when like you're super older than your little sibling.
Yeah.
She calls Christina over to bring ribbon. And Carly's like, "What you doing here?" She's like, "Donna needed ribbon." Very realistic.
I'm saying Donna runs both houses.
Listen,
She runs
Donna runs a
Carly's
tight
house.
ship.
She runs the Corinthos house. She,
Donna runs a tight ship. So we have, of course, this scene where Carly sees Valentine. He's sad about Charlotte. So she's like, I'm gonna go because this is his first Christmas without Charlotte. We get to Lulu's house. Charlotte is kind of sad. She's noticing, I did like that Lulu asked her what she would usually do with her dad for Christmas. I think that
yeah.
they are putting Lulu in this like position to calm down a little bit. And I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I know that I wasn't there last week, but my comment about Dante and Lulu was that their favorite children don't care about them as much as they do. Like so, so like Lulu and Charlotte, Dante and Rocco, just like last week they were wilded, and poor Dante and Lulu were crying and upset. But it looks like Lulu is learning, like, yeah, I need to be better, be more patient, be all that. So she's learning. Um, but man, Charlotte, Charlotte was like 100% clear. My dad is my number one. I love you though,
Right,
mom. You cute and
right,
all, but I'm sorry. It's
right,
me and dad,
right. And
100.
I think I'm confusing Christmases. So there was like Corinthos Christmas, there was Lulu's house
Lulu's
Christmas,
house Christmas.
and so many people were at both.
Yeah,
Sunny was at both, right? Like
yeah.
everybody was at both.
Frankly, Sonny was at everybody's Christmas.
Sunny was at everybody
Everybody.
except for the one with the most cops. That was the only one Sunny
Right.
wasn't at.
He
And
wasn't
at
at
Black
Alexis.
Hospital, and he wasn't at Black.
Yeah. But man,
Sunny probably was at Alexis's, and we just didn't see him. Sunny be everywhere.
yeah, he was
So
everywhere.
anyhow, Carly notices how sad Charlotte is about not seeing Valentine, and makes up some ridiculous story and takes her to the house. And she has the sweetest reconnection with
Reunion.
Valentine.
I was crying. That was my
Were
first
you?
tears. I
Okay.
was.
It was
Because I'm just
beautiful.
saying, you know, James Patrick Stewart just brings it out of me. He
He does.
really reflects pain very well. I mean, he can be
He's really
ridiculous
good.
as he wants to be, but man, Valentine loves his daughter. That's his number one. And so when he saw her, I was like, oh, that was just so wonderful. It was so sweet. I loved it.
So, how do you feel like, despite how beautiful it is, do you feel like Carly was right or wrong for bringing Charlotte to him?
I know that was like a huge debate
Oh, was
on
it? I didn't
social
see.
media.
Okay.
It was on
Okay.
Facebook. Folks were like,
Okay.
Carly was so wrong. She made a decision for Lulu's child without consulting her and all this other stuff. And she put Lulu in danger and Charlotte in danger. I was just like, y'all relax. But it may come up to something because apparently, Charlotte can't keep it a secret. But I thought I it was one of those things that I accept for the point of the plot. I just liked it. I liked it. I liked the moment. I don't care.
Uh-huh.
Carly was Carly, I guess, but she was doing it for a good reason. So I accept it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, like you always say that we have our faves and we know sometimes our faves are wrong, but we don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I think um I think Carly was wrong. I think that Lulu is going to be mad at her, and Lulu will have every right to be mad at her, because you don't get to like take my daughter somewhere where you know I'm upset about it, and you're kind of like leveraging our relationship to do it. And I thought it was a very sweet moment. Like I think both of those things are true.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if anything does come of it with them. I actually was liking Carly and Lulu being back in relationship. Because I never liked Lulu back in the day. I liked her relationship with Carly.
Yeah.
And when she kind of betrayed Carly for Dante, this is obviously years and years ago. That's kind of when I was done with Lulu. And so with Alexa and Laura's Carly and Lulu and the way they're connecting, I was like starting to like that dynamic again. And I'm imagining that that dynamic will be very different once Lulu finds out Carly's role with Valentine. And I think her role with Valentine is going to make Lulu mad no matter what. But knowing that
Yeah.
she put her daughter in it is going to really make her mad. Because if somebody's
Yeah.
hook, even Carly about to crash out over Jocelyn. So imagine how she would crash out over her underage daughter.
Well,
So should be interesting.
Carly doesn't have that many female relationships. I keep thinking about Carly versus Ava. Ava has friends. Carly don't have a lot of girlfriends. She has a lot of
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, when Carly puts that in jeopardy, but I guess, Carly doesn't care about women, so she's like, whatever.
Yeah, I like that's why I really liked Car Sam.
Yeah,
She has the friendship with Olivia, but they don't have Olivia on screen.
right.
Um, like so she has it, but we just never see an investment in it, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And
So
shout out to that as well. I don't know if you were planning on bringing it, but Ava and Nina made up, and I
I
thought it
was,
was
yeah,
very sweet. Yeah, that was very sweet. Ava was like, we don't have a lot of friends, but and I'm not about to throw you away. I don't care if you're mad at me,
yeah,
and so, just admit it. And then
yeah,
Nina, she was like, yep, that's true. And I like that they're still like, I like that Ava is still trying to have keep Portia in the mix. Like, because she knows that Portia also doesn't have a lot of friends. And Ava values that relationship. She values the relationship she has with Portia. And she wants Portia to be part of that, Ava Nina threesome. I'm for it. They just need Ava and Portia need to, not Ava and Portia, Portia and Nina need to figure themselves out. But I mean, Portia has every right to be mad at Nina. Nina is very, very Ugh. I don't see how anyone can be friends with her, but whatever. I like the relationship, but I couldn't have Nina as a friend myself. But I like them together. I like their scenes together. So that was very nice. It was a nice little Christmas forgiveness
I like Portia. I like
moment.
Ava and Nina. I think their friendship does not make any sense. None of it makes any sense. And I
Yeah,
think those two actresses have like phenomenal chemistry together.
yeah.
So it just is what it is. I don't want Portia to be friends with Nina, and I think that after what happened, my assumption is that Portia will not be friends with Nina. But I could be wrong. But I'm not interested in a Portia Nina friendship. I like Portia's friendship with Elizabeth. Um,
Hmm.
I liked it was like it used to be like Portia, Elizabeth, and Terry or something. We just haven't seen
Yeah,
Terry. Um, Portia could have hospital friendships. I'm not interested in Portia and Nina, to me personally, but who knows what the rest are gonna
right.
do. I felt like Nina did what Nina does. Like, this is why I don't like Nina as a character, because this is a constant with her. She's like, well, I didn't do anything. All I did was go tell Sonny, girl, you know what you did. You know what you did. Stand on what you did.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
mean,
trustworthy.
the reason you told Sunny is because you knew Sunny was going to tell Alexis. So the goal was you didn't do it, but you had a specific reason for doing it, and you succeeded.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it. And she does it all the time. It's always like doing something that's ridiculous and then being like, well, it's okay that I did it because like y'all broke the law or y'all did this or y'all no, you did it. Stand on what you did. That like no girl. I'm not a fan. But it is what it is. Um oh, we're still going through holiday celebrations. At one of the houses, Dante bought over Olivia's gingerbread cookies, and at some point, Rocco, who's acting kind of ridiculous, finally decided to have like some gingerbread like diplomacy with Dante and hand him a cookie.
Yeah.
Rocco, not
So
interested.
Gia was like, look, you need to give Dante. Gio pulled him to the side and said, whatever my relationship is with your dad loves you, so that was good.
Right. Yeah. Dante was like trying to follow them outside. I was like, Dante, please
No,
calm
Sonny was
yourself.
like, no.
Very silly, very silly. But they're fine now, or at least like trying to get towards fine. Rocco did apologize to Laura, which he should have
Yes.
done. It reminded me, it was like two things that kind of reminded me of Spencer this week. One was that, like, where it was like, well, three things, but one was that, um, you know, like I just remember Spencer stole an election for Laura and Rocco almost destroyed it.
Right.
Um, I was also thinking the scene where we had Trina. This is another problem for me with Trina, um, is that they don't allow her experiences to build on each other. And I was calling this out even when they pretended like Rory never existed for her. I know people don't like Rory in that relationship, but the reality is like he was Trina's boyfriend. Like to the point
Hmm.
where she was going out of town with him and on double dates with him. He was a part of her life. And with a character like Trina, with a black character, when you erase their experiences, it becomes easier to erase them from the show. And so Trina's had two boyfriends who have died. That's a
Hmm.
big deal. And so we're talking about Spencer being erased, yeah, because we've set a precedent that we can erase people and experiences from Trina's life. I would have loved even for when she was putting up her tree for her to put her like dove on the tree as like a memorial or a remembrance of Spencer. Like nobody is remembering him. Laura doesn't remember him, and the third thing that reminded me of him was like little Ace being there. Lulu has
Yeah.
barely mentioned him.
Yeah.
So for me, I just think that when we erase those big pieces from people's lives, especially Black characters, it just makes it easier for them to be erased. Look at what they did with TJ. I was reading something. What was I reading? I can't remember what it was, but they reminded me that TJ was the first Ashford on the show. Like
Hmm.
TJ brought the Ashfords to the show,
Hmm.
and
Ain't
then
nobody mentioned him.
and nobody mentions him. TJ was not given a send off to say, actually, we're about to like he's about to go work somewhere else. That would
Right.
have been fine. Just go do that. But no, you don't even give him that. When that, the same thing I was reading, it was saying that when that surrogacy story first started, the only person who was on contract was TJ. And we get no like grieving, no mourning. The Ashfords don't mourn TJ's baby at any point. Jordan never acts like she was almost somebody's grandma. Nothing.
Yeah.
This is what I mean when I'm talking
Even
about
Molly,
erasing people.
like, yeah, even Molly hasn't really mentioned, Molly or Christina's mentioned the baby.
Yeah, yeah,
They just mentioned, oh yeah, we had a fallout, but now we forgive each other.
right. Yeah. Like Sam was still allowed to mention baby Lila,
Yeah.
especially this close to when it happened. So anyway, um, like you said, Sunny was also at Laura's house. Him and Kevin toasting it up to cover up.
Yeah.
And then because of Gio, Sunny was invited to the Quartermains. The Quartermains bought Gio a new violin.
Well, it
Out
was
of nothing.
Sunny, the grandparents. So it was Sunny and Ned.
Ned, what halvesies?
Yeah.
Because,
That
I
happens.
guess they needed the
Yeah.
money. Um, but they went half, and we haven't really explored the fact like that Eddie Main was living with Sonny. Like they actually have some relationship. But they have, they go half seas on this violin. And I'm sorry, I was pushing something behind my back. They go half seas on this violin. Gio doesn't know it's there. Leo finds it. And we have this moment where Gio gets the violin and doesn't know what to do, has this flashback. I love Brooklyn going to comfort him. And I did cry when he was playing because it was beautiful.
For me, I mean, I feel like it was classic Leo making everyone uncomfortable for our amusement, which is basically what he did. He goes and he finds the violin and he's like, well, you forgot to give it to him. How come you're not giving it to him? How come he's not playing? He should play it right now. Everybody's
Mhm.
like, Leo. It was great. I hope that Leo, you know, comes back every Christmas. If that's the one thing, if that's his one role, is to call out uncomfortable situations and make them
Yeah,
better, that's him. That's all he needs to
yeah.
do. He has
'Cause I'm
served
like Easton be
his
busy.
purpose. He served his purpose. And so it was great. And then yeah, it was very, very fraught and full of emotion. And it was like, coming full circle after being so alienated and so hurt by what happened that he's able now to forgive and he's able to pick up the violin again and play. And it was beautiful. So I cried again. So that was two times I cried last week.
I loved also just people in the background, them focusing in on Emma and her crying.
Yeah.
Gemma is just so sweet. When they had their kiss in the snow, it was just like they are made for like some sort of like Christmas
Yeah.
romance movie. Like I would watch another thing with those two actors in it because I just think they have such a cute chemistry. And I
Yeah.
really, really enjoy them together. And they seem to make the most of things. One of the complaints I had about other couples is when they don't make the most of the background or they
Hmm.
don't. like those two are always going to be holding each other. They're always going to be gazing at each other. They're always going to be doing all of those things. And I really like that about them. And I think that's part of what makes them special because they don't get a whole lot.
Why do I feel like this is deja vu? Because this was what was the dynamic between Sam and Dante. They
Yeah.
always they were always on point. They always had that relationship in the background, and they did not get a lot of airtime. But when they
Right.
did, they were 100% and they were on point. So yeah,
Mhm.
so Gio and Emma are bringing, Dante and Sam vibes. And that's
Yeah.
funny because Gio don't know he acted like his dad.
Yeah. I also will say what is really key to me and what I think is really important is you have to give people likable things to do for them
Yeah.
to become likable characters.
Mhm.
Gio was somebody that people weren't even given a name a year or so ago. People did not like him. And
Yeah,
then
he was
he
just
got some go ahead.
he was chewing the scenery. He was just like, why? We were all. I admit, I was there. I was like, why is he here?
Yeah.
What is
People
what is the
people
point?
did not like it. People because
Yeah.
it is hard to like introduce a new character and you have to like give them something to do that is likable, that is because he also was never unlikable. Let's also be clear about that. They didn't
Right.
give him anything to do that was like annoying or messed up. He just was kind of there. We was like, for what? I will also say, let's be very honest about this. When it seemed like he was for Trina, there were fans who didn't want him for Trina.
Hmm.
And so he gets this like really great story. He becomes a legacy character and like on so many sides, which is why he was at everybody's Christmas celebration. And now he is like so key to so many important scenes.
Yeah.
I also love that they did. I don't know if you saw they did like a behind the scenes with him and his violin.
Hmm.
Even him talking about it was so important because it was like, oh yeah, this kid is really, really talented. He was
Hmm.
even talking about like that you have to like, like the way you play for a performance is like different than whatever, and like you have to make it look good, and that's what he was doing. That's really important. And I thought it was I don't know, just like really fortuitous of the show to like find someone who is so sweet, has so many great scenes with everyone, so much great chemistry with people, and is so talented in this way. Um, yeah, I mean, just very, very lucky.
Hmm.
And it reminds me of what they haven't done for Kai.
Poor Kai. Someone
Like,
did a recap on Facebook. They were talking about the Ash for Christmas, and all they said that, yeah, and Kai was there. And that's it.
right, but like, so here you are, you have Kai, not a part of anyone's family. We
Yeah.
like literally he came on as being this person who has like this major surgery, not attached to anyone. If you were gonna do this, like I don't, I was as you know, I've been rewatching. I was like, oh, I've been wanting Portia to be a ward for forever. Why wouldn't Kai? Why wasn't like any? Well, not we don't want Portia and Kai related, but like, why wasn't he create like related to like some sort of family? If you want
Yeah.
anybody who watches Dave, they randomly made Eli like family of Julie's. Eli got a Christmas ornament on the Horton Christmas now. This is what you do for Black characters to actually show that you're invested in them. Like you make them part of an actual family. And Kai has been a part of nothing. He's not been, and then like the biggest thing that you've had him do was like betray Black Hawk. Y'all attached him directly to Drew when everybody was hating Drew. It was just a recipe for disaster. This is what I'm talking about with like the lack of investment of Black characters and how we have to fight for Black characters, not just all of them, not just one. Let's see. Oh, Sid. So we have that. Oh, the Scorpios had their Christmas. Talk a little bit about that. We did hear Emma talk about like she was like got a selfie from Anna. I'm like, so you think you can get a selfie from Anna skiing, but she can't call? Why did nobody
Yeah.
say that
That
about
was
someone like
wild.
Anna?
That's wild. Ain't nobody reach out to her or call her or anything.
Wild. And then um, we also have a mention of Daisy. So they said they FaceTimed with Sasha, Robert, Daisy, all of that. I thought that was interesting because we don't have any mention of Michael talking about Daisy. So what's happening there? Are we getting Daisy back? Are we getting Sasha back? That's what I want.
I thought was interesting was that AI Nathan talked to James and said, we're going to go and visit your mom next week. I
Yeah,
was like, ooh, what does that mean?
we'll see. We'll
Yeah, are we
see.
going to get Maxie soon? I don't know.
And then we get a text between the Westbournes where Britt tells them she got her license, medical license back. We also find out that Brennan had something to do with it.
Yeah,
So
Brennan lurking in the background. So let's see.
I'm gonna be so mad if they make Britt chief of staff and they take away Portia's job.
You know what? I kind of guess that's what might be what's going to happen. And I think Brennan will have something to do with that too, because that's the only way she would be able to get chief of staff.
Yeah.
If somehow he pulled strings. I don't know what kind of strings he got to pull because that's a board decision. So that's a decision now. I guess Tracy is now the person on the board, the chair of the board. That'll be
Oh, is
fun to
she?
see Tracy. She would be because Monica was, and it was a
Oh,
court. I feel like it's a quarter main seat.
mm,
So maybe Michael will get it. I don't know,
yeah. I
but
thought
it'll be
Michael was already on
funny.
the board. I couldn't
He's already
remember.
on the board, but I don't know if he's chair. That's
Oh,
the thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we'll see.
But yeah, I was just like, okay. I also found it so funny watching Britt interact with Lucas and Liz. You can tell the actors that play Britt and Lucas really like each other as like people because they're so funny together. He's like, oh, I volunteered to like help somebody with their kids. And she was like, of course you did. Like walk off. Or like she walked up like eating something. She's like, oh, I could have bought you guys some, but I
But
didn't.
I didn't.
What? So I just found that all to be very funny. Um,
Yeah.
and then, Liz goes to Portia and is like, my kids are not my kids have abandoned me for this Christmas.
I ain't got nothing going on for Christmas.
Come
You
hang
can come
out.
and hang out with me.
And Portia's
Poor
like, no, I need
Liz.
to be by myself. And here goes Liz and Lucas being like, oh my God, poor Portia, she'll be by herself. And then she walked past with her man, and they were like, okay. And I was like, look at Liz and Lucas being black scrub shippers. I know that's right.
Yeah.
And then the final thing we have is the big party at Windermere. So we have Ava and Lucy kind of fighting over Sidwell's attention.
Which is funny.
Oh
Because
God, so
it was like,
ridiculous.
you ain't about to come between me and my client and my money. That's for dang sure. I loved having Ava and Lucy there. That made it more entertaining because I was just like, this is gonna be one boring ass party. But
Sidwell gave Lucy some diamonds. What
yeah.
is his name? Lucas was telling Ava about how much the butler don't like him.
That butler's hella creepy though.
Yeah,
He's lurking in the background. I'm
he
like, it
is.
makes me think that he might be in love with Lucas or something because he's very
Or
territorial.
Marco.
Or Marco. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very territorial.
yeah. It's weird. Um, but they locked in, whatever. I just thought it was crazy. I'm like, dang, so we got Anna downstairs and y'all having this like European celebration.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, I mean, and I think that that continues because Sidwell is concerned about Drew and like everything going on with him, and so he's gonna be running up on Drew like, "What you about to do?" So we shall
yeah.
see what
It
happens.
sounds like Sidwell might actually tell Drew to draw Willow. Because he's like, why are you with this woman? Who's
I loved when he was talking to Jordan, or he's like, Drew's here with his wife. Like he made
Wife.
a face. I was like, oh my God, so shady.
Yeah,
Yeah. So here we go.
that's
Well,
it.
do you have any hot takes that we didn't already go?
Well, I had one thought. I was like, so what? Now Martin is Drew's everyman? I
So
said, Drew's
annoying.
like, I need a communications thing. I was like, you need to call Olivia Pope. That's who you need to call. Martin's not going to help you. He's a
He,
lawyer.
right.
Like, how he's going to come up with your communications plan or what to do? Like, sir, that's not his job.
Right.
Um, I have fuck the Ashfords. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
That's
at the
pretty much
experts,
it.
that's it. All right. So next week is a short week. We only have 3 days. Um, Monday, Tracy questions Michael. Laura gets new intel. Sidwell issues a warning for Drew. Cody dispenses advice. Willow becomes privy to a secret. I rumor has it, rumor has it that we will find out who shot Drew before New Year's. So I do wonder
So
if Sidwell tells Drew and Willow overhears it.
Sidwell tells Drew
Who shot
and
him?
Nina, oh,
No, Willow
oh,
overhears it.
so you think Sidwell's the one that shot Drew?
I don't know, but I think he might know who did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we'll see. That's just a wishful thinking. I really want it to be Willow because this is the other thing I forgot to talk about. I think the problem with the shot Drew storyline, not only has it gone on too long, but it also has been we don't know anything, right? So there's something like that's kind of cool about like us knowing and the people on screen not knowing. That's not
Yeah.
happening. And what was the purpose of it? Drew did not change the person; he became worse. And
Yeah.
so, if it wasn't to, like you did all this build up to Drew being terrible,
Mm-hmm.
for him to get shot, not die, and not become better, I'm okay with Drew being like not a nice person. It is what it is. Like, so many villains. But the behavior of like leveraging your daughter, like these are not like likable, rootable things. He is not even entertaining when he's on. Whereas like Sidwell is kind of funny at least. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I
So
think this is where I'm imagining. So I feel like they've gone through kind of in court all the suspects one on one, and now they're going to go on to Michael. I feel like Michael, and I think we all postulated this before, but I feel like Michael was there, he saw Willow. And I think if it was Willow, he saw Willow do it. And so that's going to come out in court. That's what I think is going to happen.
I think if Willow didn't do it, I think Willow saw Drew shot
Uh-huh.
and left.
Yeah.
So
Or she did do it and then she goes back into her car and gets back to herself. Like I feel like she had a fugue moment or something and then blacked out. And then when she gets in the car, she saw something. And that's why she feels she's innocent. Maybe she might have saw Michael drive
yeah.
away. I don't know. But she feels that she's innocent, but even though she's actually guilty.
I hope it's a moment and then I try to do anything with split personalities. I'm not interested in split personalities,
Yeah.
but we'll
Even
see.
though she's definitely a candidate for all the trauma that she experienced back in the cult and then
Right.
losing the
Yeah.
baby and all
When
that
we found
stuff.
out that the cult was basically the white Dora Milaje, I was over it. Like, what are
Yeah,
we
they
talking
kind
about?
of made up like when Christina gets on the stand and makes up this story, like, oh yeah, we were all being trained in guns and ammo. I was like, really? I don't remember that happening, but I guess
Never
that's a
happened.
rewrite. Yeah, so
Yeah. Um, Tuesday, Britt wants to celebrate her birthday. Oh, you remember she had a birthday party before before she picked died?
Mhm.
Um, Lulu and Nathan Bond. Mm. Trina makes a commitment.
To what?
Curtis, Curtis and Jordan reach a decision. Valentine reassures Carly. Um, Wednesday is like an encore presentation for or encore episode from last year. Thursday is going to be Anthony Geary's final episode. So it's going to be the full final episode of Luke Spencer as he says goodbye to Port Charles. So I'm definitely going to be tuned in and probably sad.
Mhm.
Um, and then Friday is Sunny warns Michael. Christina is taken aback. Alexis decides upon a new strategy. Dante confers with Justine. Laura gets new marching orders. So we shall
Mm,
see. We shall
we
see.
shall see. All right. Well, thank you for
Okay.
having me. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you have a great
Yeah,
celebration. And
please. I love thanking you for having me on my own podcast. Um, please make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. Tell us about what you like about GH in the comments, what you dislike, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us. I like told somebody on TikTok about us podcasting and they said they would check us out. So if you come over from TikTok because you found that, let us know in the comments. We want to hear about it. And other than that, we will see you in the new year. In the new
see you
year. Oh
next
my
see
God.
you next year.
Yeah. Oh, if you look at our Instagram, we're gonna put up like some best of stuff from 2025, and we will see you in 2026, y'all. Bye.
Bye.